So what if it's not the emotion you're afraid of? What if it's what you think that emotion says about you? It's not that you're afraid to cry. Maybe you are afraid that crying means that you are weak. And it's not that you don't want to admit that your feelings were hurt, but maybe you are afraid that admitting it means that you're not as strong as you thought you were. And it's not that you don't want to admit that you're angry, but maybe you're afraid of what being angry says about the type of person you are. Because somewhere along the way, I think a lot of us stopped simply feeling our emotions and started judging ourselves for having them. And I've been thinking a lot about this lately, especially since I've been talking more about allowing ourselves to feel, because I think there's another layer to this. Sometimes we're not trying to get away from the feeling itself. We're trying to get away from the version of ourselves we think that emotion represents. Just think about it. If you spent years being the strong one, the dependable one, the one who holds everything together, how does it make you feel when suddenly you are not? When you cry over something that you think you should be able to handle? When something hurts you more than you want to admit? And when you are disappointed, even though you've been telling yourself to be grateful, and instead of allowing ourselves to feel, we start questioning ourselves. Why am I crying about this? Why does this hurt me so much? I am stronger than this. I should be over this by now. And before you know it, you're trying to talk yourself out what you actually feel. And now you're not just dealing with your original emotion. You're dealing with the judgment you placed on yourself for having it. Being strong doesn't mean your feelings can't get hurt. Being emotionally mature doesn't mean you'll never get angry. Healing doesn't mean nothing will ever trigger you again. And being grateful doesn't mean you'll never feel disappointed. And being the person who's always there for others doesn't mean you don't want people to show up for you. Having an emotional moment doesn't erase everything you've learned, everything you've overcome, or how far you've come. You're allowed to feel what you feel without making it mean something about who you are. And maybe we don't have to turn every single one of them into evidence about who you are. Maybe sadness can just be sadness. Maybe anger can just be anger. And let's be honest, disappointment hurts. Sometimes things get to you. And damn it, if you need to cry, then cry. Without immediately deciding that it means something about who you are. Because maybe emotional freedom isn't just giving yourself permission to feel. Maybe it's being able to feel something without immediately deciding that the feeling says something about who you are.